Justice is back. Sam and oh God, what's up with you? Hip hop uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Hip hop uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Oh God, driving Sam and riding passenger side, and you heard it out the mouth of the greatest rapper alive.
Interested in promoting your brand, business, or talent on Hip Hop News Uncensored? Hit me up right now at advertise@hiphopun.com. That's advertise@hiphopun.com. Hit me ASAP. Very affordable rates. Now to our regularly scheduled program.
Less loved than Donald Trump in this country at this particular point. He's not going to gain back a lot of favor at all. No.
I want to get your opinion on something that Marc Lamont Hill said. Are you familiar with Marc Lamont Hill by any chance?
I'm not sure about him. No.
All right. Well, he's a young brother who has a show called Black News Now. He's like a political analyst. He said this. He said, Bill Cosby is not innocent. He has not been exonerated. His release means that Cosby, a sexual predator, was incarcerated within a criminal legal system that has little regard for his own rules and procedures as Cosby does for his victims. What's your opinion on that statement?
Yeah, I don't know if the young brother has read the opinion and what actually occurred to Mr. Cosby and the fact that he was actually duped, like so many young African-American males, where he gave a statement that was then in turn used against him in a court of law. I really don't know. And I just want to make this very clear. It's not necessarily about whether this was true. Mm-hmm. It's about justice. You see, I defend people that may be guilty every day. That might be the case. But what I expect for the United States, and I expect for the Constitution to be upheld. I expect for equal justice. I expect justice. I expect fairness. And that's not what he got here. He did not receive fairness, and that is the reason for that the conviction was overturned. But again, how many people are sitting in the Department of Corrections right now in given any state that are sitting there unfairly on some crap they probably didn't do? They took pleas or they were convicted. There's people that get released every day due to the Innocence Project who were convicted. So I'm not going to sit here and bellyache because Bill Cosby may have gotten out. For one person that gets out based upon the fact that we actually held the prosecutor to a standard, one person with a bunch of money gets out. You want to start bellyaching about that one person? What about the hundreds and thousands of people that are in prison, who died in prison, who were killed in prison, who did not have the prosecutor held to their word, held to fairness? That's what I want to look at.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people out here that just want their opinions validated. Like for example, Marc Lamont Hill. Shout out to the brother, but him just going out there and blatantly saying he's guilty without really knowing. Like, well, also this situation get thrown out doesn't mean that he's not, or he's innocent or guilty. It just means it was thrown out. There's no circumstantial evidence to keep that man in there. How, in your opinion, public opinion, how does that affect, and how does that get into the trial's head, people's head, when they start hearing public opinion about certain people? Does that have an influence on the trial, in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, so that's kind of, and I think what I understand is your question to be is how dissemination of certain information affects public opinion. Is that basically what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, okay, he has a trial going on. It's ongoing. Now he's released, but you still have people screaming guilty, guilty, guilty. And now we have the public perception. Like even during a trial, does that perception from the outside influence what's going on the inside?
Yeah, I mean, people are told to not pay attention, but yeah, I mean, people are told to not watch the news, and you know, the legal system puts on blinders, and we all assume and we expect for the jury to follow the instructions, and a lot of times they do. It's not my place here today or ever to question the whole system with regard to our belief that jurors are not going to pay attention. But I mean, as a lay person, as a person, do I believe that every person is going to listen to what the judge says? I don't know. I don't know that that's possible in our world today. It's really difficult, and it just is what it is. Now, as an officer of the court, I can't sit here and say that I believe that jurors are not going to follow a judge's commands, but I mean, as a person, you make the decision yourself. Do you think that everybody who is told not to watch the news or listen or engage in any conversation about a particular topic, that they're going to do it, that they're going to be able to stop somebody else, so that they're going to stop somebody in mid-sentence and say, wait, hold on, you can't talk to me about that.
Wish you could, yeah, but not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that that's going to happen. Now, as far as moving forward after the trial with Bill Cosby, again, like I said, it's a wrap for him. But that man happens to be so old that he would just like to just be able to go home and die peacefully, in his home with his wife and being able to see people. He's probably just happy to be out. He doesn't have any plans to work any further. But if the man was still trying to work, he'd probably never find a job. Nobody's going to employ him whatsoever. I mean, can you imagine this? All right, so there's a couple things that really can screw you up in your criminal history. The fact that you were actually convicted of rape, sexual assault. Can you imagine being 30 years old and having that and going to get an interview? I mean, you're not going to get that job, bro. I mean, you can say what you want to say. Well, you're not supposed to consider that because I was acquitted.
Right.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. So, if he were still out there, there's just no way he'd be working. He's not going to get any roles. Nobody's going to watch. There'd be picketing. There'd be everything else. And so let me get to that, what I was saying before, though. In the law, I mean, there's certain things that people are just going to stay away from. Like, employers are not going to potentially hire you if you've been convicted of theft, whether it's a misdemeanor or a felony. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And batteries, things of that nature, because you become a liability. I mean, what employers don't want to hire somebody who may steal from them, right? Or someone who may batter somebody else. So what if you were, as an employer, you go and hire somebody that you know good and daggone well was convicted of battery. That person then loses their temper in accident and gets in a fight with somebody. So now that person comes back and sues the employer and says, well, hey, you knew or should have known that this person had a propensity for violence and you still hired him. Thus, you place me in danger and you are responsible for the damages as much as that person is. So they just avoid it altogether. It's going to be the same with him if he were working.
Now, I heard that one of the prosecutors, they said something like, I hope this doesn't discourage more victims from coming out. Do you see in the future that they could try to, bring more, charges or cases up against him? How do you feel about that?
I do believe they probably will. I think that the prosecutor who initially extended the offer for immunity was what his intent was to extend immunity with regard to that specific victim. He was not trying to preclude them from prosecuting him in connection with other victims or in connection or prevent other jurisdictions from filing actions against him.